Yeah, water is the biggest killer in U.S. tropical cyclones. Inland flooding, storm surge are still a big concern, not just what is ongoing here in Florida, but what could happen in Georgia and South Carolina, where we're urging folks to evacuate if they've been told to go by their local officials.
You know better than anyone that these storms, when they interact with land, they can do some funky things. What are you seeing now, or is this as predicted, do you believe?
Well, generally it's behaving as predicted. The details, though, have made a big difference so far in terms of what the impacts have probably been south of where the eye is right now. We could have had the center of circulation going right along the coastline, which could have brought even stronger winds and even higher storm surges onto land. But it's close enough that we still have hurricane conditions on shore, and the hurricane warning's still up all the way into South Carolina. And it is just amazing to see this awful track that follows just the shape of the coastline to bring so many folks into harm's way. And we still do not know, nobody knows for sure, whether or not the center of circulation will actually come on shore, but we still are very concerned that it will remain and come close to the coast enough such that not only could strong winds, but storm surges occur. We still have a prototype storm surge warning in effect for these areas. That's why people are being told to evacuate.
Dr. Janice Dean has a question now, too. JD, go ahead.
Hi, Dr. Knabb. First of all, excellent work by you and the people behind the scenes. I mean, you help us shape the forecast and get the message out. I want to ask you about the language that I'm seeing about the possible storm surge along the coast of Georgia and South Carolina. The fact that it could be, very similar to what we saw here in the Northeast with Hurricane Sandy. Could you talk to us about that?
Sure. The potential is there. And we have issued these prototype storm surge warnings all along the east coast of central northern Florida, going into Georgia and South Carolina. And notice, we're not just talking about the immediate beach. I mean, there are very complex coastlines in northeastern Florida and in Georgia and South Carolina. And we are talking to emergency managers about some of the particular areas that could flood, and they're not all right on the beach. The storm surge can go over the land for some distance, can take advantage of getting into bays and rivers. So if you're being told to evacuate and they're telling you there's still time to go, and even if you don't see the Atlantic Ocean from where you're sitting, the water can still get to you. So the fact that this is not just a potent hurricane, but a pretty big one, it's plenty able to push the ocean around into these areas. Georgia, South Carolina, folks, get out. It could save your life.
We don't know the legacy of this storm yet.
No, we don't. We know it's already rather historic to have a hurricane of this magnitude in this area that doesn't get major hurricanes very often. But be on the positive side of history. I don't want to put you in my report after this event from the Hurricane Center of who died in storm surge.
Well, what do you think the big difference was with Haiti? Was it construction on the island, or was it the impact of the storm?
Oh, both, and the mountainous terrain that takes the rainfall from the sky, and then that turns into flash floods and mudslides.
Doctor, get back to it. Thank you for your time. National Hurricane Center there. We will check back in with you. Thanks again.